as a vegetable plant.
Would you love to finish that novel you're reading when there's a blackout? Or do you simply enjoy reading at night and don't want to turn on the light? Well, Boywood has got you covered. Let's take it away. Light is essential for any reading experience, and that's why book lights are fundamental in helping you read at night or in the dark without a hassle. Introducing the Boywood Booklight, a completely reimagined booklight for a better reading experience. It is powered by tiny LEDs that give you even warm lighting that maintains contrast while scattering light to minimize glare. It also allows you to control lighting precisely with a touch for uninterrupted reading. Boywood Booklight has a refreshing look designed with style and comes in different popping colors to match your personality. The band is made of genuine leather and is laminated for durability. Aluminium magnet buckles are also included to give the light a polished experience and ensure it doesn't fall off. You can grab one of these unique booklights or an alternative on Amazon for just 2,000 Kenyan shillings. For more tech features, follow us on our social media handles at Metropol TV KE.
Avocado is native to the Americas, where it is divided into 3 subspecies: Mexican subtropical, Guatemalan semi-tropical, West Indian tropical. Researchers believe that humans began cultivating avocados about 5,000 years ago. It was introduced to Kenya in 1930s by the Portuguese. It was first cultivated for commercial purposes in the 60s. Avocado is a pear oval or nearly round shaped. The skin of a ripe avocado varies in color based on the variant. It may be green, deep green, dark green, or a dark purple that appears nearly black. Avocado has over 40 variants, but in Kenya, 2 variants are commonly grown. These variants are the Hass variant, grown mainly for export market, and Forte variant, grown mainly for processing. These 2 variants grow about 120 trees per hectare. It is advised to space the trees with 9 meters by 9 meters for maximum yield. Plant the tree rows on an east to west orientation for maximum sunshine exposure. Avocados grow well in a warm to cool climate at an altitude of 1,500 to 2,100 meters above sea level. Avocados require 1,000 to 1,600 millimeters of rain well distributed across the year. It requires an optimum temperatures of between 15 and 24 degrees centigrade with an average 2,000 hours of sunshine a year. Avocado thrives on 1 meter of topsoil that is permeable and free draining with adequate moisture retention. The best soils should be medium sandy loam with a pH of between 5.5 to 6.5. Propagation is mainly from seeds or seedlings. Grafting of seedlings is commonly used yield, resistance to diseases, adaptation to different soils, as well as convenience to the farmer due to the dwarfing effect of the grafted variants. Avocado starts to yield 3 to 4 years after transplanting. However, economical yields start at the 6th year, with trees above 5 years yielding about 800 to 1,000 kilograms per hectare per year. 50,000 to 100,000 fruits. In Kenya, avocados are harvested between March and September, depending on region and variant. In Kenya, avocado is farmed in Murang'a, Kiambu, Nyeri, Embu, Makueni, Meru, Kisii, and Nakuru counties.
Basi tuiangazie biashara ambayo unaweza anza ukiwa na shilingi 5,000. Biashara ya ufungashaji wa majani chai, ama ukipenda biashara ya kuuza majani chai kwa pakiti au kipimo. Watu wengi mle sokoni hununua majani chai kwa wingi na kuyapanga kwenye vijikaratasi vilivyopigwa chapa na vile ambavyo havina chapa. Mfano, chukulia sukari, kuna ile ina jina na ile nyingine ya gunia. Haya basi, chai ni rangi. Hivyo pia waweza weka majani chai kwa vipimo tofauti tofauti na kufunga vizuri. Kisha weka bei yako kulingana na vile ulivyonunua na vile utapata faida yako, manake faida ndio muhimu katika biashara yoyote. Soko yako yaweza kuwa kwenye mtandao, mle sokoni, ama dukani mwako mle nyumbani, na soko zingine zaidi ambazo waweza fikiria. Here are some cybersecurity best practices for your business. Now, cyber attacks and cyber crimes are becoming common. Here are some ways to protect your company against cyber threats. Number 1, education. It's much easier to prevent a hack than it is to recover from a hack. Once your company's sensitive data is stolen through a ransomware attack, recovering it is often a long and tedious process. You can prevent this by teaching employees about basic security, personal cybersecurity. Prevalence of cyber threats goes a long way in stopping ransomware attacks before they can really do damage. Your employees should understand that they might be targets of malicious actors eager to exploit any entry they can find in your company. Number 2, better passwords and multi-factor authentication. Now, cyber thieves have developed powerful algorithms that can correctly guess difficult passwords in seconds. Traditional password advice suggested using a long password of 12 characters at minimum with a mix of numbers, symbols, and capital and lowercase letters. While this is a good strategy, it is not enough, and nearly every security professional recommends using two-factor or multi-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication is a security process which requires 2 different authentication factors to gain access to programs or resources. Number 3, know your company. Take advantage of an easy resource, your own knowledge. Think about your company and where hackers are likely to target. Will they be interested in your employees' personal information, or are they interested in your customer databases or intellectual property? Find the most likely targets and secure them appropriately. Number 4, safe and secure Wi-Fi. It might be a no-brainer for a company to have a secured, encrypted, and hidden Wi-Fi network, but with the advent of remote working, it's important that your employees also safely encrypt their own personal networks. Your employees' security is also your security. Hacking an employee's remote network is an easy way to eventually gain access to the company's mainframe. Number 5, backups. Hackers thrive on being able to disrupt an organization's activities. An offline backup will enable your business to get back on its feet, while cybersecurity experts deal with damage and fallout from a cyber attack. Number 6, install antivirus software. Even the best trained staff occasionally make mistakes. Having antivirus and anti-malware software installed on computers add an extra layer of protection, especially against phishing attacks, a social engineering attack used to steal data and login credentials. Number 7, secure physical devices. Just like you lock the doors when you leave your office, company laptops should be secured with passwords or pins. Laptops given to employees who are no longer at the company should be retrieved. Think of every work computer as a possible gate into your company. Number 8, update software and firmware. Always update your software. The best antivirus and anti-malware programs are only as good as their latest patches. Forgetting to install patches will allow hackers to exploit the system's weaknesses. Number 9, be safe rather than sorry. Do you ever get an email and it looks suspicious? Never click on it. The ABCs of cybersecurity are always be cautious. Double check where emails come from before responding, especially if something sounds off. Be safe, beware, be secure.
Mulembe. Welcome to County number 37, Kakamega County, the home of Ubusuma Nende Ingoho. It borders Vihiga County to the south, Siaya County to the west, Bungoma and Trans Nzoia counties to the north, and Nandi and Uasin Gishu counties to the east. It covers an area of 3,033.8 per square kilometer and has a population of about 1.8 million people as per the 2019 census report by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. The governor is His Excellency Honorable Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya, elected in 2013 as the first governor of Kakamega, and the deputy governor is His Excellency Professor Philip M. Kutima. The county has 12 electoral constituencies, namely Lugari constituency, Luhuyani, Malava, Lurambi, Navaholo, Mumias West, Mumias East, Matungu, Butere, Hoisero, Shinyalu, and Ikolomani constituency. Kakamega County is filled with many top schools, higher learning institutions which include Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, Kenya Medical Training College, Mount Kenya University, St. Paul's University, among others. The main crops grown in Kakamega County are sugarcane, maize, beans, cassava, finger millet, sweet potatoes, bananas, tomatoes, tea, and sorghum. Maize meal forms the staple food for the county. The most famous cultural activity in the county is bullfighting. Kakamega Forest is the main tourist destination in the area. More than 400 species of birds are found in the rainforest.
Africa has been very lucky in this whole COVID era that we were not devastated. We didn't have masses of people sort of switching off, and I think we've been lucky. So I think when you look at that, we have supply chain issues from other places, from China or elsewhere. The freight costs have gone up, and therefore I think the serious opportunity for us in East Africa is now to go into manufacturing a lot of products that we still practically import and bring in. So I think the whole number of jobs we can create from manufacturing is massive. We've got to all look at value addition to our raw materials and stop exporting basic raw materials outside our country and really make things here. So everything in East Africa can be made. The other thing is that we've got to do some trading within ourselves. We can't just say, I will do it myself and Kenya is against Uganda and Uganda is against Tanzania and all that stuff. I think we just got to open the borders and say, fine, let our industries become 10 times bigger. Let the people who are in Juakali sector start selling their wares across East Africa, everywhere. And why not expand the markets? Because in mindset, all our 6 presidents have agreed to have one market. And then comes the ministers and all the business people and say, we need to block these guys and block those guys. Whom are we blocking within East Africa? I think we've got to become stronger. So manufacturing and services and even IT, there's so much scope in East Africa. Let us leapfrog to the latest and let us drop. I think at the next summit, I would invite all the 6 presidents, drop all the other barriers, drop all the asymmetries, make it one unit called East Africa, a borderless East Africa, and let's get on with it.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Street Biashara. I am still your host, Natasha Agunda, and today we are on the streets of Nairobi to find out whether Kenyans know about the term trademark.
A trademark is a mark that many companies use in terms of knowing their company. Yeah,
it's an iconic brand.
According to layman's language, it means the organizations Comesa, sijui nini hizo zote hizo Comesa, sijui hizo nisoma kitambo. Nisahau. Comesa, sijui gani hizo ni trademarks. Yaani zile ule uhusiano wa kufanya biashara hii partnership.
Ni ile alama mtu tumia ku represent biashara yake.
A trademark is a mark, I know, it's a registered mark of a company. It's a registered mark of a company.
A trademark is a business name, where it's a legal business name where a business uses to transact business with. Like, let's say the trademark of Safaricom is actually Safaricom name.
A trademark is what a company uses to advertise itself.
All right, so we are joined in studio by none other than Gabriel Mwenda. We had gone to the streets of Nairobi to find out a couple of terms we thought that Kenyans would or would not know. The first term that we will be talking about is trademark. Gabriel, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
The term trademark.
So a trademark is a symbol, a word, or a phrase, or literally anything you can write on paper or print, which a company has the rightful claim to use as it pleases. And only that company is allowed to use that as long as they have registered that with the relevant authorities or government. So it could be anything, could be a sign, very casual symbol that a company has full-on claim to.
Being that green has been, been identified with Safaricom, same as yellow with Tusker the beer. What are the consequences of actually using that color, that logo, that name of somebody else's trademark?
Yeah, so there's some restrictions, especially on what you can call a trademark. So for example, you say color green, because it's a universal color. Safaricom can't say they use color green, but how they write their brand name, the M-Pesa logo, those ones can be their specific trademarks. When you use someone else's trademark, then you are liable for a legal suit, and there can be paid damages if you try to use their trademark. But then you cannot claim more common colors, words, or signs, or phrases on trademark. But the ones that you have a right to claim, if anyone infringes on your trademark, you're allowed to sue them.
That was it for a trademark. This, of course, is Street Biashara. My name is Natasha Gunda.
Managing your finances starts with questions. Where do I put my money? What opportunities are available for my money? What ratios should go into savings, spending, and leisure, if you may? Now, trying to answer all these questions can sometimes mean you have to understand concepts like savings, loans, forex, stock markets, and sometimes politics. And honestly, sometimes it can get a bit overwhelming. On Eye on the Money, we take you through intelligent investment and finance management decisions so that you keep track of every coin that comes out of your pocket.
So what are some of the challenges that are affecting the sector growth? I think a big one, of course, is the cost of production. And from where we sit as the Association of Manufacturers, we look at cost quite broadly. We look at it all the way from how your raw material gets into the country, all the way from the transport and logistics from the port into the factory, the cost of industrial inputs, whether it's sitting in the right tariff band in terms of the common external tariff, and then the factory costs, which include the cost of production like power, the productivity and cost of labor is also something that we look at, and the other resources that you use to produce, and then how your goods get to the factory, to the customer. And within that, you have things like the regulatory challenges we face as a sector. In certain sectors, yesterday I was having a conversation with the East Africa Trade Association. They require 47 permits within the sector. So you can imagine with the regulatory compliance and the burdens around that, that does add up to the cost of production. We also have the issues like taxation. Certain parts of the manufacturing sector are highly taxed, with introduction of now even excise in certain critical raw materials and inputs that we use for manufacturing. So if you look at all that put together, it increases the cost of production locally within the country. Then you add to that you're competing in a global environment because goods from any part of the world can land into the country. So it affects also your market share. And that also dwindles the growth of the manufacturing sector, whether it's in country or within the region. So all those things put together affect the performance of the sector, and not just for large businesses. SMEs are equally affected, because you can imagine if you're an SME in the manufacturing sector, you have to register your business, get all the permits, ensure you're paying the taxes, you have a cost of power. So all those things put together do affect the ability of the sector to grow exponentially. So in the advocacy work we do as CAM, we try to sit down with government and say, how do we bring down the cost of production? Because that way we can do more production locally.
Experts have argued on the origin of French beans, but most agree that it originates from Central and Southern America. Going by its botanical name, Phaceolus vulgaris, the French bean was first domesticated in Peru about 6,000 years ago. It grows in the form of a bush that can reach up to 20 inches long. It flowers and produces bean pods, which are the edible part of the plant. They can be grown round the year with the aid of irrigation. There are about 130 varieties of the bean, but in Kenya, Samantha, Picasso, Buffalo, Morgan, Boston, among a few others, are the varieties you will come across. French beans are propagated through seeds planted directly to the field. You will require 25 to 30 kilograms of seeds per acre. It is advised that you plant single rows, one seed per hole, spacing them at 30 by 15 centimeters. But for double rows, then the spacing becomes 60 by 30 centimeters. For easy management, plant blocks of 4 single rows or 2 double rows with a 50 centimeter path in between. French beans grow well at an altitude of 1,000 to 2,100 meters above sea level. The beans mature faster in warm regions. The ideal growing temperature range between 21 and 27 degrees centigrades. French beans require well-distributed rainfall of 900 to 1,200 millimeters per year. Excess rains and prolonged drought result in poor yield. And they grow well on well-drained, rich in organic matter soils that are slightly acidic to alkaline, with a pH value of 6.5 to 7.5. French beans are nutritious and have many benefits, among them being: they help in fetal development when eaten during pregnancy. They prevent premature aging. They enhance bone health. They enhance heart health. They improve eyesight. They are rich in dietary fiber, which is essential in body fat regulation. They are a source of vitamin A, B, D, and K. French beans take 45 to 60 days to mature before harvesting can commence. For tasty bean pods, harvest the young pods 2 to 3 times in a week. This not only gives the best bean, but also encourages production. An acre can produce up to 6 tons. It is advised that you rotate the crop with crops that do not belong to the legume family. This helps in weed control, reduction of soil erosion, rejuvenation of soil organic matter, pests and disease management. Pests to look out for are bean fly, thrips, aphids, red spider mites, white flies, African bollworms, cutworms, and diseases such as rust, downy mildew, bacterial blight. In Kenya, French beans grow well and are farmed in Nakuru, Nyandarua, Kajiado, Kiambu, Murang'a, Machakos, Kisumu, Uasin Gishu, Kirinyaga, Nyeri, Embu counties.
Now, today we are looking at some of the facts that are in the dairy industry that you may or may not know. Number one is cows must give birth to produce milk. Did you know that? Yes. That's right. It may seem obvious, but many people have no idea that to produce milk, cows must be pregnant or have just given birth. Like all mammals, cows lactate to nourish their young ones. Now you know that calves are stolen from their mothers. Just hours after they are born, calves are withdrawn from their mothers. Understandably, this forced separation is traumatic and the mothers bellow for hours or days, now pacing and searching for their stolen calves. This heartbreak happens at every dairy farm. Now, the male calves are often killed for veal. Since male calves don't produce milk, they are useless to the dairy industry and often sold for veal production. Veal is a direct byproduct of the dairy industry.
There is different sports, so why not different languages?
Katika kutathmini hali na matukio viwanjani, kikosi tumekisuka kikasukika, kwani mwanzo wa chanzo ni chani mbili.
Do they need to win because they're your team or because
No, we want for them the league.
I'm an Arsenal fan, by the way.
Why am I here? Why am I here, man?
Hapa taa zimewaka.
Kweli mataa yananiruhusu kuripoti yanayotendeka katika mtaa yote.
Maneno.
Ni betting na kukibizi sana.
Mimi ni Mwasenali, lazima kaa anje, kwani bango likitolewa mjini habari huwa wameipata.
So many products we have. Actually, if you look at our line of loans, we have more than 36 loan products. So I'm just struggling to say which ones I should pick for you.
Yes.
But maybe I should revisit this from the perspective of COVID again. The fact of the matter is that COVID made us change and rethink our model and rethink how we serve our members. And also it created, it made us aware of necessities that perhaps were there before, but because of COVID were now aggravated even more. One of the key ones I'd say is around affordable housing. For a long time, we've had these statistics, which personally I like to use the word shameful. It's very shameful for a big country like ours, more than 50 million Kenyans, to speak about having 30,000 mortgages or so. It's not right. Those two numbers do not correlate. 50 million people, 30,000 mortgages. There's something amiss. And what was amiss was that for a very long time, mortgages in Kenya were offered only to the apex of the pyramid, for those who are the de la cream of the society. So not even the middle class. The majority of people would not even afford a 15-year, 20-year mortgage facility. So we partnered with KMRC, the Kenya Mortgage Finance Company, which we are equity shareholders, together with 10 other SACCOs. We are 11 SACCOs in total, 8 banks and 1 microfinancial institution. And the idea was, are we able to bring up all these financial institutions, albeit we come from sort of different industries, banking sector, the deposit-taking SACCO sector, and the microfinance, but we had a common agenda, all of us. And are we able to support the government in the Big Four agenda? Affordable housing. So through KMRC, we're able to tap into money from the World Bank and the Africa Development Bank, which a few years ago would not have been a possibility. And this enables us, for example, as Timor, to give out a loan at a single digit, 9%. span on a reducing balance basis for up to 20 to 25 years. Again, that would have been a non-starter. So it just happened that this discussion came around the COVID period, whereby we're saying it's becoming very expensive for Kenyans to actually get access to affordable financing. And hence, for me, I'd say this is one of the key products that I saw accelerated with the coming of COVID-19. Yes. Other products as well were really revolved around the aspect of our efficiency and our effectiveness. Because we also realized that because of COVID, then you really needed a very agile institution. If you're keeping money, you need to have not just a haven in terms of the safetyness of your money, but also in terms of accessing it. How quickly can you access money in Stima? So say your salary is passing through Stima Sacco. If I want my salary today, will I get it today? If the employer, your employer, the parent company is to send salaries for that institution today, it should reflect today in my account. So, and that's basically what we managed to do. So we have a very unique product called Untitled Chapter that enables all our members to actually, just the same service you'll get in a bank, that if your salary comes in today, you've actually gotten a hold of it, which I think was very innovative on our end. Other products we've come up with things like Sharia. We are the first conventional SACCO in Kenya to truly offer what is a Sharia compliant product line. Why did we do that? We said, okay, hold on, for a very long period of time, there's a segment of this society that has been disenfranchised from the conventional banking, probably because of the beliefs that the community does have. So because of that, we went into a learning mode, and we are a learning organization. Every day we try to learn something new. So we asked ourselves, why is it in Kenya that the very big banks offer Sharia windows? And why is it that no SACCOs is offering that? And because of that, we went into Sharia banking. So we do offer a complete suite of Sharia products, whether it is in terms of savings or financing. We do even have a Sharia advisory committee on board that actually helps us to do that. So I think that's another product I'd say, again, has been accelerated because of the global pandemic. And there are very many others as well. Every other day, we think, how relevant are we to our member? What is it that we're not offering to you that we're able to offer to you? So on a day-to-day basis, we're able to do that. Maybe one more I can also add. Because of the pandemic, and like I mentioned, there was a time that we'd actually tell our members, please go to the mobile platform or go to a web portal, which is more or less our internet banking, so that we reduce the footprint, the physical need of meeting one another. But we also realize that, albeit the fact that you can have the ATM channels, you can have a mobile platform, you can have your internet banking, they will still need to provide other forms of access to we as Stima. We only have 9 branches across the country, and about what we call area service centers, there are 14 of them. But we thought that, okay, hold on, there's a missing link here. And the link is, if say I'm in a very remote area of Kenya and I want services of Stima Sacco, how do I get that? What if I don't have bundles? What if I don't have a smartphone to download an app, so to speak? Of course, I can use USSD, but what if the network is not even clear? What do I do? So we've gone into agency banking. So we have what is called Stima Sacco Mlangoni. The idea is very simple. We want that when you open your mlango in the morning, you should see Stima Sacco. So you'll be seeing quite a lot of our agents that are rolled out across the country. And the idea behind that is to enable us to have our members partake in services irrespective of where you are. Whether in Wajir, in Marsabit, Lamu, wherever it is that you are, we should be able to be there to serve you. So these are some of the products that we actually are uniquely Stima Sacco.
I think 2-3 years ago, in an event in Mombasa, we decided that we have to digitize all the company processes. And it started with a single dream of serving our clients under 1 hour. from the point of initiation of interest to the point of accessing service to be able to serve them in 1 hour. So then we looked at all the processes, all the systems we have, and decided for us to meet that dream, we must put our servers on the cloud. Since the project began, I have not heard of adjustment of timelines. I haven't heard of a problem of finances or support or budget around the whole project, and we have kept on time. We had one system we thought would not go to the cloud because we felt it had some we have, and we envisaged to put on the cloud, managed to be migrated to the cloud, and within time. As a digital insurer, we want to be the first one because insurance is traditional. We must fill application forms, submit policy documents, which are big policy documents. And as AR, we want to be able to do all that activity digitally so that you can apply for cover, you can get your policy documentation online without having to come and fill several documents, sign a lot of documents.
We shall focus on some of the innovations in soil science. Cover crops are an excellent addition to your soil improvement program. They can provide organic matter and nutrients, improve drainage and aeration, attract beneficial soil organisms, and act as an overwintering mulch. While cover crops can be grown in rotation with other crops at any time throughout the year, they are most popularly used during the sunny period. Now, mulching encourages healthy soil tilth by retaining moisture and nutrients. It also saves time by reducing the need for weeding, watering, and fertilizing. How you mulch your garden beds depends on how your climate. For example, heavier mulches are beneficial in hot, dry climates where moisture evaporation is high. In contrast, lighter mulches are more appropriate in cool, rainy climates where soil benefits from the warmth of the sun but still needs protection against erosion. Now, after a pest outbreak, however, discard affected plant material. Avoid using mulches during the rainy period so as to avoid providing protection to overwintering pests. Now, in soil, organic matter consists of plant and animal material that is in the process of decomposing. When it has fully decomposed, it is called humus. Did you know this? Now, this humus is important for soil structure because it holds individual mineral particles together in clusters. It helps soil hold important plant nutrients. You can increase the organic matter in your garden or farm by adding compost or applying mulch. Application of organic matter to the soil adds carbon, which promotes the growth of beneficial bacteria, which increases the likelihood of hearty plant. Amending the soil is important for good yields. Now, nutrient accumulators are plant species that are often integrated into permaculture gardens. The roots of accumulators are said to collect specific nutrients from the soil. These potentially nutrient-rich plants can be chopped back several times throughout the year in order to use the cuttings as a mulch. This may save money by reducing the number of soil amendments you need to purchase. Growing them many also improve biodiversity, although there hasn't been a lot of research conducted on nutrient accumulators. Comfrey, or the most often cited plant. Comfrey is a shrub that grows in parts of Europe, Asia, and North America. It can grow up to 5 feet tall. 5 feet tall. It produces clusters of purple, blue, and white flowers, and it's famous for its long, slender leaves and black-skinned roots. Studies suggest that one can use Comfrey as an organic DIY fertilizer spray.
welcome back to Street Biashara. My name is Natasha Agunda. We are back on the streets of Nairobi to find out if Kenyans know about the term bankruptcy.
For me, I know bankrupt is when I don't have money. Maybe I can tell you I'm bankrupt.
It's where your income cannot support your expenses. Huh? That means you're bankrupt.
Bankruptcy means when someone is out of resources and is not able to fend for themselves.
Money. That you have gone bankruptcy. Yes. You don't have money.
Being broke. Situation where one finds himself not being able to deal financially. He has been declared. He may not have enough money to pay his debts. So he is declared officially that he cannot transact in the business. Yeah.
Running out of funds, the inability to be liquid.
Bankruptcy.
Bankrupt is whereby if someone has opened an account and you don't have any money in the account, that means you're bankrupt. That means you don't have any money in your bank. That means it's the same as saying you're broke. Yeah.
You are a 0 shillings.
You have no.
All right, so we are back from the streets of Nairobi. This is Street Biashara. My name is Natasha Agunda. Joining us is none other than financial expert Gabriel Mwendwa, who's going to actually tell us what the term bankruptcy means. Gabriel?
Thank you, Natasha. Bankruptcy is the situation whereby a company or a person is actually not able to repay their debts, whether it's loans or credits they have received from their suppliers, and therefore they have to be declared bankrupt by a court of law. So when you can't pay your debts, you're termed bankrupt.
All right. So when you are termed bankrupt, does it mean you're broke?
Not necessarily broke, because you see, you could be broke, but you have assets. So when you're bankrupt, it actually means you do not have assets that you can even sell to pay your debts. So to be bankrupt means, there's no way we can actually recover this money from you. And being bankrupt means you actually are not supposed to have any operation or business operations in that country or with other individuals, because you can't pay any obligation.
All right, thank you so much. That was Gabriel Mwendwa talking to us about what exactly the term bankruptcy means. My name is Natasha Agunda, and this is Street Biashara.
Biashara ya shanga. Shanga huwa maridadi sana, ikivaliwa shingoni, sikioni, kiunoni, kifundoni na pia kwenye kidole. Kuianza hii biashara wahitaji shanga za rangi tofauti, kamba, ungo la kumalizia shanga yako ile wafunga nayo ili shanga zisitokane, na pia wahitaji aina tofauti za koleo. Ukiwa na shanga zako tayari, tafuta soko. Waweza uza kwenye mtandao, sokoni na pia kwenye sherehe tofauti. Kumbuka kutengeza faida, ambalo ndilo jambo la muhimu katika biashara yoyote. Kisha kuwa mwadimu katika biashara yako.
Many times we tend to lose hope. This country called Kenya is on the windward side of fortune. Eastern African region is the fastest growing sub-region in the world. Kenya has enjoyed an average GDP growth rate of 5% in the last 10 years. You can even go back. The only year we did not grow was last year because of COVID-19. But we still recorded, we didn't go negative. We were almost positive GDP. And 0708. So what's my point? MSMEs need to be assured you're planting your seeds and you're farming in a very fertile ground. And because you're on the windward side of fortune going forward, we also have a very listening and sincerely caring government. The revolution of infrastructure that has gone into this country in roads, in railways, in water and sewerage, in electricity. This is the stuff that is being created for us to harvest as businessmen going forward into the future. Sure, there is short-term pain. When you're building your house and paying your mortgage, it's very painful.
My name is Shiko Kimani. I am the proprietor for Paprigano Restaurant and Pub in Nakuru Milimani. I started this restaurant in 2008. Paprigano, the name, is actually a combination of paprika and oregano. Paprigano. So those are the herbs we use when we are doing our barbecues. Smeka is, I would call it a system that allows you as an entrepreneur to load all your transactions. It helps you monitor your cash flows. You are actually able to pull out a profit and loss statement from the system. You can also pull out your LPOs from the system. The better part of it is the banks are able to access your daily routine, your inflows, your outflows, like that. And so when the banks do that, then they actually don't need so much documentation when you want a facility. You can actually just get a facility in 24 hours. Yes, so the bank can be able to see what you buy, what you don't buy. Okay, your stock is low. They can even call you and ask you, okay, we've seen your stock is low. Can we, come in and assist you? And you can also request for loans online. So I think it's a really good product, and once the entrepreneurs know about it, it would be very good, because even if you go to the bank, the bank for a facility, they always ask you for the documents. A lot of entrepreneurs don't have the documentation that I sold this today, I sold this in a month, what's your turnover, So yeah, it has been really been helpful. I would recommend Smeka to any entrepreneur, because it actually organizes you. You're able to have your documents in place, your net worth, you're able to plan, you're able to budget, and that is what entrepreneurs need to become successful.
To register your business on Smeka platform, call 0715 830 690. Smeka, your highway to business financing and automation.
Streets of Nairobi. Hi, my name is Natasha Gunda, and this is a Street Biashara. Today on the streets of Nairobi, we will be finding out how well Kenyans know the term cash flow.
Cash flow is amount of money that you have to run a business. Ni jinsi unapokea pesa na venye pia inatoka kwa mkono wako.
Cash flow ni venye tunaweza sema aje. Okay, flow, wacha kwanza nichukue flow. Flow ni kitu ambayo ina from down kwenda hadi chini, ama kuanzia chini kwenda juu. Nikaa saizi venye tunasikia, saizi kuna siasa zinasema bottom up. Sasa kuna zingine top up, vitu kama hizo. Unaona? Sasa tukisema bottom up ni kaa kuanzia chini. Sasa hiyo flow ya pesa, hizo pesa kuanzia chini, kuanzia 1 bob hadi ifike huko 1M.
Cash flow. The cash flow, now that depends now in your context. Cash flow, it could be in terms of like how much money you're getting in terms of cash.
you know how you're generating your money, your flows. So you might be having assets, but you'll never be having cash flow, and you'd be forced to sell your assets and stuff like that. So it all depends on that. Now, the concept of what you want to look at.
We're back in the studio from the streets of Nairobi, and the question we were asking is cash flow. And joining me to dissect this term is none other than expert Gabriel Mwendwa. Gabriel?
So cash flows are basically the movement of money in and out of a company's bank accounts, or in its own records, whether it's petty cash or a bank account. The in and out of cash. The difference between these and other things like the sales and whatever you have in your profit and loss statement is that the cash flow only captures the movement of actual cash. That is the cash flow.
All right. So you can't have cash flow that is not liquid?
Yeah, so a cash flow basically captures only what is actually cash. It does not capture, if you, for example, if you go buy stocks you want to sell, we will only capture the money to pay out. We will not record the inventory as part of your cash flow. We only capture when the money was spent. When you sell your inventory, we will only capture the receipt of money. Simple as that. So as the name suggests, purely cash, and it's used to arrive at the cash balance in a company's bank account at the end of a year.
All right, there you have it. That was the term cash flow as dissected by expert Gabriel Mwendwa. This is Street Biashara, and my name is Natasha Gunda.
There is different sports, so why not different languages?
Katika kutathmini hali na matukio viwanjani, kikosi tumekisuka kikasukika, kwani mwanzo wa chanzo ni chani mbili.
Do they need to win because they're your team or because
No, we won for them the league.
I'm an Arsenal fan by the way.
Why am I here? Why am I here, man?
Hapa taa zimewaka.
Kweli mataa yananiruhusu kuripoti yanayotendeka katika mtaa yote.
Maneno. Ni betting na kukibizi sana.
Mimi ni Mwasenali, lazima kaa ange, kwani bango likitolewa mjini habari huwa wameipata.
Managing your finances starts with questions. Where do I put my money? What opportunities are available for my money? What ratios should go into savings, spending, and leisure, if you may? Now, trying to answer all these questions can sometimes mean you have to understand concepts like savings, loans, forex, stock markets, and sometimes politics. And honestly, sometimes it can get a bit overwhelming.
On Eye on the Money, we take you through intelligent investment and finance management decisions so that you keep track of every coin that comes out of your pocket.
Business doesn't wait. Why should you? Get updated with the latest business news on the go. It's simple. SMS the word news to 20146 and receive breaking news on the go. What are you waiting for? SMS news to 20146 now.
So there's two levels of significance to this study that we have launched today, the top 100 most loved brands by women in Kenya. The first is that we all today appreciate that knowledge economy is key. And the fact that we have not previously had data on Kenyan women consumers is groundbreaking, is innovative. And we're using this information to hopefully better inform policymakers, investors, public sector agencies, enterprises, not-for-profit organizations, to understand the power that has resided in Kenyan women as consumers all these years. Now they have scientific, well-structured, qualitative data that can inform their decisions. The second is for Kenyan women to celebrate the fact that they now are a showpiece for the rest of Africa. They can use their stories, their narrative, to demonstrate that whereas they have been omitted, ignored, forgotten, perhaps even misunderstood or undervalued as a consumer demographic, they now are core and central to every single business or boardroom decision that needs to be made moving forward. So Kenya makes history today in being the first African country to launch such a study, and for that I am extremely proud.
Africa amazes me. Its technology and innovations, the people, their businesses, as a culture deeply rooted at the core of its hunger for growth. This is what I'm passionate about. Every Tuesday, it's technology on Business Center, and Thursdays, I hang out where the hustle happens. My name is Tabitha Muhoni, and this is Metropol TV, the home of wealth creators.
Business doesn't wait. Why should you? Get updated with the latest business news on the go. It's simple. SMS the word news to 20146 and receive breaking news on the go. What are you waiting for? SMS news to 20146 now.
Would you love to finish that novel you're reading when there's a blackout? Or do you simply enjoy reading at night and don't want to turn on the lights? Well, Boywood has got you covered. Let's take it away. Light is essential for any reading experience, and that's why booklights are fundamental in helping you read at night or in the dark without a hassle. Introducing the Boywood Booklight, a completely reimagined booklight for a better reading experience. It is powered by tiny LEDs that give you even warm lighting that maintains contrast while scattering light to minimize glare. It also allows you to control lighting precisely with a touch for uninterrupted reading. Boywood Booklight has a refreshing look designed with style and comes in different popping colors to match your personality. The band is made of genuine leather and is laminated for durability. Aluminium magnet buckles are also included to give the light a polished experience and ensure it doesn't fall off. You can grab one of these unique booklights or an alternative on Amazon for just 2,000 Kenyan shillings. For more tech features, follow us on our social media handles at Metropol TV KE.
In journalism training, only 5 viewpoints matter for a proper story. My experience as a business journalist has, however, taught me that there is more. So now I understand that before I walk into that interview, I have to look for the hidden. So for me, what sticks is the story behind the story.
What would you say is that unique, very unique selling aspect that you can guarantee I will not find anywhere else?
Good question.
My name is Ingrid Nantege, and this is Metropol Television.
There is different sports, so why not different languages?
Katika kutathmini hali na matukio viwanjani, kikosi tumekisuka kikasukika, kwani mwanzo wa chanzo ni chani mbili.